So, hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Sinful Dolls, and today I'm here with a different type of video than I would normally do, but there's just been a lot going on lately that I just want to talk about and get off my chest. So, I decided I wanted to do a little rant, and this time the rant is going to be about some stuff going on in the Bratz community or the doll community in general. And I already know there might be some upset opinions in the comments. The last time I made a video about how I felt about things in the doll community, people were up in a tizzy. But yeah, at the end of the day, this is my opinion, and you don't have to agree with me. You're welcome to disagree with me, but just keep it respectful in the comments. But this rant, and I want to start off by saying this rant is not to attack anyone or target anyone. It's just something that has been coming up a lot lately, and it's driving me insane a little bit because I guess I'm trying to understand people. How do I say? I'm just trying to understand people's reasonings and people's, thought process on this. So yeah. So anyway, let's get into the topic of what the rant is about. So if you're in the doll community or you're in the Bratz community, you have probably noticed a influx of posts regarding defective dolls and the return process for these defective dolls. Now, I have seen posts about this with the Jean Paul Gautier Sasha doll that was released couple weeks ago, I think. And I've also seen it about the Bratz Clueless Cher dolls recently. And the issue has come from people receiving dolls that are defective. And I say defective loosely because I think everyone's definition of defective differs. From what I've seen, defective can mean the box has a little nick in the back of it. Some people will deem that as a doll being defective, while other people consider the doll's face paint being messed up, or her hair or her scalp or her clothing having, rips, tears, cuts, slashes as being defective. Like I said, defective obviously has a huge wide umbrella of meaning in the community. And people have reported having these issues with their dolls. And when they reach out to MGA support for a return or a replacement, they are being told that they need to deface the doll in order to receive a refund. And by deface, the company has asked them to take the doll, write on her face with black permanent marker, as well as all over the body with repeating numbers several times in order, for them to process the refund. You do that, you take a picture, send it to them, and they will get the replacement doll or the refund. Now, if you have ever bought an electronic or something, or an appliance in recent years, you've probably been told to do something similar. And if you don't know, these requests are usually done to prevent scams and, to prevent people from getting over on the companies. It's not unusual to be asked to damage these items. In my experience, I bought a Bella air fryer back in 2020. I think it was my first air fryer. I paid like $80 for it at Best Buy. I think I ordered off of bestbuy.com. I bought it. It worked for like 2 months, and then one day it went out, would not turn on, and when it would turn on, it would put out cold air. So it was not cooking any of my food. So I reached out to Bella customer support, and I was told that in order to, well, first I had to describe the issue and tell them exactly what was happening with the air fryer. And they told me that in order for them to process my refund or to send me a replacement, I would need to damage out the item so that they could make sure that it was truly defective and I wasn't just lying to get a replacement, which makes sense. And they told me that I would have to make a video of me cutting the cord in half with scissors. I would also have to have a still in the video of me holding the severed cord in my hands. Also, to write the serial number on a piece of paper. I think they asked me to do it in like red ink or something like that. I think they told me to do. And they told me to take a picture of that and take a picture of the severed cord in the back of the air fryer with the paper in order for them to process the refund. And I had to send in those pictures, and once they received it, they emailed me back and let me know that they accepted it, and then that's when I was able to get my refund. I didn't have a problem with doing that. I did think it was a little crazy that they asked me to do all that, but ultimately I didn't have a problem with doing it because the air fryer was legitimately defective. I couldn't use it and there was no point in me keeping it, so I didn't mind cutting the cord to prove to them and writing on a piece of paper to prove to them that, yeah, this air fryer is defective. And I got my $80 back. And I got tax too. They give me like tax or whatever. I didn't have a problem with that, like I said, because I knew the item was defective and I had no ulterior motives for requesting a refund. So I didn't have a problem with it. It happens all the time. And what I've noticed is a lot of people, I've seen several different posts where people are upset that MGA is asking them to do this to the doll in order to get a refund. And I guess it was kind of confusing to me because it's like, you said the doll is defective. Why does it matter? I don't get it. And help me understand, because I have a few ideas why people might not want to do that. But it's like, if you said the doll is defective and it's no use for you anymore, I don't understand why it bothers you so much that they want you to damage it out so you can get a replacement. And yeah, so like I said, a lot of people are upset and a lot of people are confused and they don't know if this is normal or, they don't know why they have to do it. And I've seen like several people explain it, like people who've worked in retail or, people who've worked customer service, and they're like, we do this as a measure because the item cannot be, it's not profitable anymore. And especially with limited edition collections like Clueless, like Jean Paul Gautier, those are supposed to be limited edition things, so there's no reason for them to take it back. Also, it costs more to process the return, the shipping, to have someone inspect it and tell you, okay, like this is approved, you can get your refund or not. Also, shipping it back, it just leaves too much up to risk. Like, you could be told, hey, you have to send this item back to us before we process your refund, and it can get lost in the mail or it can get damaged or, whatever. Anything can happen. Somebody can steal it. So if a company is just asking you to write on the doll with a permanent marker and they're going to send you another one free of charge, why does it matter? And obviously, like I said, like a lot of times that is done to prevent resellers, because they don't want you reselling something for you to be like, oh, it's broken, LOL. And then secretly you just want to have two, or you just want to go sell the other one. They don't want you to do that. Like, they're corporations. They don't want you making more profit off of them. So why would they not ask you to do that? And like I said, like, I just don't understand why it's a problem. And I've seen some people say, well, it makes me feel uncomfortable. This doll, like, it's uncomfortable to do that. Like, why would I have to destroy the doll? Or I've seen people be like, it's plastic waste, which is crazy to me, because it's like, them creating the doll in general creates a lot of waste. Not to mention all the chemicals being put into the air from the vinyl and the paint that they put on these dolls, the petroleum that's being used, like, in the plastic. Like, I get what you're saying, but I don't, because if you truly cared about the waste, you would not buy them anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, does that make sense? And it's like, I think it's just an excuse. Like, and I'm not defending a company at all, but I'm like, I don't understand. They're not making you pay extra to ship it back. They're not making you wait for them to receive the damaged item to process your refund or to give it back, give you a new one. So I just don't understand what the problem is. I feel like you only are bothered by that if you had ulterior motives for asking for the replacement. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would never bother me. Like, I've seen people be like, I've seen a lot of people say that their doll has like a split scalp. Like, there's the plastic of their head is literally split down the middle. And it's like, okay, the doll's defective. So why are you upset that they're asking you to write on its face with marker when you already said it's damaged? Like, it's broken. Why does it matter? I don't get it. I don't know. Like, obviously, I think when you spend $70 to $100 for a doll or anything in general, I do feel like you're entitled to a refund or a replacement. And I understand that. No one's saying you aren't, but I just think it's weird to be mad that they are making you prove that the item is broken in order to get that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. And I also think a lot of people don't realize companies they start resorting to these measures. One, they don't want anybody making any more profit off of them, obviously. But two, let's not sit here and pretend like there haven't been a number of people who complain about the smallest little air quotes defects just to get a refund or get a replacement, and then they go sell the other one. Or then they're like, oh, I have three Mean Girls Regina Georges because I told MGA that my other one had wonky eye, but yeah, I'm still gonna keep all three of them because, you know what I'm saying? These companies are not stupid. They know what some of y'all are doing. And sadly for us collectors, one rotten apple, two rotten apples, four rotten apples will spoil the bunch. They know that people are scamming. They know that people are doing these things, and you're just making it harder for people that have legitimate issues with their items, you know? And so, yeah, so I don't know. That's just been kind of irking me because then people are being like, well, use Photoshop to Photoshop the marks on there, or, you know, use this kind of mark. And it's like, y'all are doing too much. If the doll is so defective that you need a replacement, why are you going through all of this just to get your replacement? Just write on the damn doll and get your money back or get your new doll. Like, I don't get it. These companies do not want to give you your money back and let you have a free item. And it makes sense. Like, do I agree with it? I mean, I don't know, but it's like, it's not unusual. Like, if I go to Walmart and I buy an iPad and I tell them the iPad is broken, it's not turning on, and they tell me to bring it back in to get a refund, I'm not going to be mad if it's actually broken, because what am I going to do with it if it's defective, if it's broken? It's not unusual for them to want it to make sure you're not lying. Like, it's so crazy to me. But also, it reminds me of the situation with, what is it called? Like, fear committee, the fear committee, whatever, that Frankie, I'll put it in the, description or whatever. But that, it's not fear leading. It's not you know what Frankie I'm talking about. That everybody was waiting for that G3 Frankie committee, Frankie doll to come out. And there was like a whole mix up with like the actual like release date or whatever. So you had people that mentioned that they had a return or whatever, or, you know, they had like some issue with the doll and they sent it back. And Mattel sent them fear book committee. It's fear book committee. And Mattel sent them fear book committee Frankie as a replacement. And so everybody wanted that doll. So everybody was like, oh my God, like, I hope I get one. So everybody started making like crazy issues to get refunds. People being like, this doll has wonky eye. Doll is perfect. This is pixelated. And it's like, if you have to zoom in 20 times on the doll's eye to find pixelation, girl, it's not pixelated. You're doing too much. And people were doing all these things just to get a refund and hope that they would get a replacement just to get that fear book committee Frankie. And it's like, why are y'all doing this? Like, companies look at stuff like this, and I don't know why people don't realize companies, they have whole people that look at their social media. They look at the mentions on social media. These people, like, their marketing research teams, like, market research is a thing. They look at what consumers talk about. They look at what consumers interact with. They can see you. There are people who are looking at those subreddits, who are looking at the tags on Twitter. They're looking at it on Instagram. They're looking at it on TikTok. They know what you're doing. They know what you're saying. And they're taking that back to corporate and being like, yes, this is a trend. This is what people are doing. People are asking for refunds for this. People are doing, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all make it hard for yourselves when you, like, every time you try to get over on the system is going to react. They're going to respond. Because right after people kept doing that with Fear Book Committee, Frankie, people who had legitimate issues or people who would try to do the trick to get that doll sent to them, they were getting their returns rejected, or they were not getting the doll they wanted. And it's like, was it worth it at the end of the day that you force yourself into believing that your doll has severe wonk eye in hopes that you would get sent Fear Book Committee Frankie, and then you didn't, and then they're like, no, rejected. So that's how I feel with the whole Bratz thing. Like, I don't know. I just think it's dumb to just do all this. And it's like I said, if the doll is defective and you want a replacement or you want a refund, just deface it like they told you to. If it's already fucked up, why does it matter if they're asking you to further damage it, if you can't use it? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know what it is. Like, I feel like I'm losing my mind sometimes in the doll community or in the collector communities in general, because it's like common sense is like a finite source and it's very hard to find. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of over it. I'm over people being selfish and not realizing how their selfishness impacts the rest of collectors. And it's not just in the doll community, it's in every space. And I'm just like, y'all need to really turn your brains on and realize you're doing too much. It's not that serious. But yeah, that's it for my little rant. I hope I didn't offend anybody, but like, I don't think I said anything offensive, but if you're offended, then I don't know. But how do y'all feel about this? What are your opinions? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you like this kind of unfiltered ranting type video, let me know in the comments also, because I love to rant. I love to yap. And if you would like to see more of these or just chatting about stuff in the community, let me know. But yes, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so that y'all know every time I post. I will be posting some doll videos soon. I've been recording a lot of clips, but I just have not put them all together yet. But I'll do that eventually. But yeah, bye.